Hey, y'all, and welcome to day 2 of the WSOP and the 4th annual WSOP Daily Spaces coverage. I'm Sherry Pliscota, aka Peaches, and I'll be your host for the next, are we down to 50 days now? I think it is. I'm just guessing, but I think it is. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm excited about the summer, and I know you all are too because we're all poker players. Please be reminded that we will always try to give you the most updated and accurate information possible. But we are human and information is always fluid in the world of poker. So please double check any information we provide to ensure yourself the best experience possible. And please correct us if we're wrong. We want to get it right and we want to make sure we correct any errors we make so that other people get the correct information. So thank you. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Sherry Pliscota 9212. It's free. And you can find the recordings of my past spaces and interviews on my YouTube channel. Goes back to 2003. The Quilt for Charity fundraiser is ongoing. Please consider making a tax-deductible donation via the designated link to the Poker Gives Charity Feed the Homeless program. A $10 donation will get you 1 ticket. A $25 donation will get you 5 tickets. And it's a one-of-a-kind quilt you're going after. So don't miss your chance to win. And of course, we'll get that information in the Purple Pill. Or you can look on my Twitter feed and find the information there. At the very top is the QR code that you can use to follow the link to the donation site that has all the lowdown. So thank you. Please join us. That drawing will take place in Vegas on the 27th of June, and it will be a live drawing on a Twitter space. So there you go. Also want to remind everybody the 7th official Spaces meetup game is at the Bellagio at 2 p.m. on June the 27th. Sean McCormick and Craig Larson are going to take great care of us by providing pizza, as they always do. And the staff over there always takes great care of us. We have lots of Splash the Pot items. However, if you'd like to donate something, just let me know, and we will be happy to receive those items. I want to take a moment to mention the celebration of the life of Steve Disney, a pillar here in the poker community of Atlanta, passed away a couple of weeks ago, and they're going to hold his celebration of life June the 3rd from 6 to 8 p.m. at the American Legion at Chastain Park in Atlanta. It is open to everyone. If you need more information, just reach out to me and I'll help. I'll get that to you. That's June the 3rd, the celebration of the life of Steve Disney. I am excited about today. First of all, hey ASG, hey Joey.
Hey Sherry, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Okay, I think you misquoted the date, the meetup game. You didn't say the 26th, you said the 27th. It's the 26th.
Oh, see, I've reversed it. The meetup game is the 26th, the quilt giveaway is the 27th. Thank you. Appreciate that. And of course, today's the 27th, which of May, which of course I've been writing that date 20 times this morning. So yes, it is the 26th of June. Thank you for that, Joe. Appreciate it. ASG, are you there, buddy?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. Glad you could join us. And I see Maureen is probably, she's in the audience and she'll be up here shortly as we hit those TDA rules with Matt Savage and Herb and the rest of us that are in this space. We're going to pick apart those rules that we may misunderstand or others do and hopefully get a better understanding of some of those rules. So we'll be doing that here shortly. And of course, we're going to have Joey's lesson here in a minute. But let's go over to what happened at the WSOP yesterday and try to get some of that information out and what's coming up today. So those that are trying to get out of their hotel rooms to go play or their homes can have some current information about the WSOP. Before we get knee deep into it, though, I do want to make mention that I was up at wee hours of the morning this morning and went on the app so I could update some of the information for today. And at 3:16 a.m. Vegas time, that 8 p.m. $200 daily deep stack was still going. They were down to 3 players. So keep that in mind if you're making the decision to play that one at 8 p.m. Be aware. Are you going to be in good shape the next day if you have plans for another tournament? Maybe that's not the right choice that night. So keep aware of those times for sure and how they finish up. First place in that tournament is going to take home $5,200, and I'm sure it's over by now. But honestly, I've been too busy to go back to and recheck. The total prize pool was just under $21,000 for that 2000 no $200 daily deep stack. So found that to be interesting. And again, be aware how late some of those are going. If you have a big tournament you want to play the next day, it might not be the right choice. So. Yesterday, day 1A of the $550 mini mystery million started. They had 1,635 entrants, and there is 60 left in that flight. The chip leader coming out of that flight was Jansen, and I'm going to botch his name, I'm sure. I think it's Separdum, and he has 1.8 million in chips. In second place, as far as chip stacks are concerned, and I'm sure this is their GG name. It's Baloo 73 has 1.7 million. David Farber's in third place with 1.6 million. And our guest on Monday, so I'd like to think that maybe he got some spaces run good before he came on with us, is Steve the Cuz Buckner. Is in fourth place with 1.5 million. So good luck to them for sure. So we'll be able to get the lowdown on that when he visits with us on Monday. Some other notables still in that field are Rosemary DeFranco. She has 645,000. Jeremy Becker has 535,000. And a longtime space cadet, Caitlin Comiskey, went out and she took home $1,099. And I'm sorry, I didn't write what place she was in, but it was just so there's 60 left. It was probably right around 65 ish. Because when I looked at the list, it was right outside of who are still left. So today is day 1B of that tournament at 10 a.m. That's the $550 mini mystery millions. Day 1B is today at 10. Then at 1 p.m. is event number 2, which is the $5,000 eight-handed tournament. And that, did I read that right? Wait a minute. I think I got myself confused. Hold on a minute. I did get, I'm sorry, I skipped over. Day 2 of the 5,800 no limit tournament is today at 1 o'clock. But let's talk about how it went yesterday. There were 415 entrants and 142 are left, 1.9 million in the prize pool thus far. The chip leader is Yuri Devolinsky, has 715K. Peter Cross has 525,000. And some notables still left in it to win it. Martin Cabral, who already has made a splash on social media for his antics, has 290K, 298K. Big Hooney, 249K. Brian Yoon has 220K. Sean Deep, 215,000. Nikki P, 168,000. Again, day 2 is today at 1 p.m. The $500 industry employee tournament starts at noon. That's event number 3. And at 2 p.m. is the $1,500 Omaha High Low 8 or better, 7-handed, starts at 2 p.m. That's event number 4. So that's what's going on at the WSOP. Anybody want to make any comments about that? Perfect. We can keep it moving. I like it. Appreciate everybody joining us this morning. I see Connie and Dusty and Todd and Barry. Appreciate you guys, D-Man and Jana. Appreciate all of you. If I didn't say your name, I appreciate you as well. Yesterday at the Win, they had a $1,100 buy-in tournament. It's been going on several flights, And guess what? They had a 60K overlay. It was a $1 million guarantee and it had a $60,000 overlay. So, those playing that one got some good value for sure. Keeping it moving, folks. Keeping it moving. Don't forget, tomorrow, Tommy LaRosa, the Director of Operations at the Venetian, will be joining us. Then on Friday, the Prince of Poker himself, Scotty Wynn, will join us. On Saturday, Papa Poker will join us. And then on Monday, as I spoke before, the Cuz, otherwise known as Steve Buckner, will join us. And on Tuesday, Barb Zangaro of Poker Gives and the Orleans Poker Room, she's a supervisor over there, will join us on Tuesday. So looking forward to getting to know and hear all about what those folks want to tell us. So looking forward to it. I'm just trying to get this stuff out of the way, you guys, so we can all get into the gossip after we speak to Joey and before we hit Maureen and Matt for some great TDA rules. Joey, I think I'm going to just go ahead and turn it over to you a few minutes early and get you started with your lesson today, which is aggression with a purpose. Take it away, sir.
Thank you so much, Sherry. So, if you are like me, you probably, out of all the things that we need to do at the poker table, struggle most with aggression, because I know I do. Part of it has to do with, in order to be aggressive, sometimes we have to put in some bluffs. And for me, as somebody who exploits people who bluffs, I always viewed bluffing as lying and just trying to figure out who's telling the truth and who's lying. And it's difficult sometimes for us to lie. So, and I've done a lot of meditation on this, a lot of studying on this. And what I really needed to, and we all need to start telling ourselves, is that a great bluff is not a lie. It's a story that is told so consistently that the opponent finishes the story for us. Does that make sense? So when we look at it that way, then we can put the pedal to the metal with aggression. It's about the storytelling. So yesterday we announced that just for the listeners this week, for a limited time only, you can go on Amazon and download the 30-Day Poker Coach for 99 cents. And what the 30-Day Poker Coach book is a list of 30 affirmations. I took a piece of what I learned from Phil Hellmuth from his book, #Positivity, where you literally should be writing affirmations down on sticky pads and putting them up on the mirror in the bathroom and reading them every morning. And that's what this book is. It's 30 sticky pads that you should write. And day 3 is called Aggression Has a Purpose, or Aggression with a Purpose. So I'm going to read from that really quick, and then we're going to really reflect on it. So aggression is one of the most powerful weapons in poker, but only when it is attached to thought. Too many players hear that aggression wins and then start firing like every hand is a scene from an action movie. That is not poker. That is chip arson. Strong aggression is not about making noise. It is about creating pressure for a reason. You are betting or raising because worse hands can call, better hands can fold, or future streets can become easier to navigate in your favor. If those ingredients are not there, aggression can turn into an expensive self-expression. So let's say you raise from late position. The big blind calls and the flop comes dry. They check. We all know this could be a good continuation bet spot because your range may have the advantage and your opponent may miss that board often. That is a perfect cut and dry example of purposeful aggression. Now compare that to barreling 3 streets into a calling station on a wet board just because you started the story and your ego does not want to stop talking. That's not fearless. That's sloppy. A lot of bad aggression comes from boredom. We see it all the time, right? At the table, the players get tired of folding. They feel card dead. They want to wake themselves up. So what do? They manufacture action. The trouble is that poker punishes aggression that doesn't have foundation. They build bigger pots in murkier spots and then act shocked when somebody actually has it or refuses to fold. Now, in order to really tell a story, we need to understand the story that's already been told. We need to know the foundation, the background. I live here in Vegas, and let me tell you something. There are resident local pros who are professional calling stations. Let me say that again. Professional calling stations. That means they're not your typical calling station that you just get chips out of. They learned how to make a living out of being calling stations. And then you add to that, you have people that come from other parts of the country that are professional aggressive players. But unless they understand their audience that they're telling the story to, their aggression will not work here in this town. I'm telling you right now. So aggression has emotional benefits when used correctly. It lets you define the hand instead of constantly reacting. Passive players often drift into confusion because they are always answering questions. But strong aggression, well, those players are the ones asking the questions. And that makes a big difference. That really matters. Even that edge, right? That disappears the moment your aggression becomes predictable, emotional, or disconnected from logic. Your story has to make sense. So last night, I was in the 4 p.m. daily over at WSOP, and I watched pocket aces raise pre-flop. I watched a local grinder call. Then the flop comes a little wet. I watched the pocket aces, who's out of position, by the way, due to standard C-bet, and the professional calling station called. The turn comes. Now there's a straight out there and there's a flush out there. You know what pocket aces does? They check. And do you know what the professional calling station does? He bets. And the pocket aces doesn't come over the top. Now he calls. And on the river, he checked. And all the calling station did was, on the river, made a pot-sized bet. And this gentleman I believe he was a Cherokee player, so I believe he was from the Atlanta area. He proudly, and thought that he made the right decision, folds aces face up and says, I know you got there. And you know what the professional calling station did? He flipped over pocket jacks. Pocket jacks got pocket aces to call with aggression because the story made sense. It just looked like this guy hit one of the draws. That, to me, I was so taken back watching this hand because it's exactly what I probably would have predicted would happen when somebody gets off a plane at 9 p.m. the night before and they announced to the table that they did 14 hours of cash over at the Bellagio because it was juicy and soft. And now, and then they jumped in the mini mystery millions, busted, and they're into 4 p.m. Okay? You just can't come off the plane and expect that everything that works in Cherokee or Tunica or wherever you're coming from is just automatically going to work here. You also can't believe that, you should believe that there are highly trained, experienced players that know how to tell stories. Aggression is strongest when it comes from clarity. not ego. The secret is not to be aggressive. The secret is to be aggressive with intent. Too many players are not aggressive enough in the right spots. They overcall when they should raise. They underapply pressure when an opponent is clearly capped or uncomfortable. They miss the chance to take control because they have not trained themselves to recognize how powerful a well-timed aggressive play can be when the story makes sense. And that's what we all are. We're storytellers. So if I had to give you some takeaways, be aggressive for a reason. Not just because you're bored, not just because your car dead, not just because you're watching all these other stocks grow while our stocks are shrinking, right? That's not the time. Your aggression has to have purpose, timing, clarity, because random aggression is not power. It's just noise with a buy-in. So if we want to take some questions, I believe we have some time, don't we, Sherry?
We do have some time, and anybody in the audience, as you're listening, no matter what topic we're covering, if something comes to mind you want to ask about or tell us about or comment about, please request a microphone. You're more than welcome to come up and be a speaker and let us know your thoughts. For sure, if you have any questions, come on up and ask Joey for sure. And there is something I want to bring up. The other day, Dibbs was in here with us in the kickoff space, and Joey gave him some advice not to play the first day he's in Vegas. Like, instead, he should organize himself, rest his mind, kind of get centered. Of course, I'm paraphrasing, but most importantly, get rested before he starts playing. Get rested after the travel day. And Dibbs, while he was resting on his off day, played an online tournament and he shipped it. And so he put out a tweet, which I was so excited to read because it's definitely flowers for Joey. And the tweet read, Fam meets the world. I'm so grateful for my friends and this game. It was a huge blessing to ship that on my rest day at the advice of Joey. And so flowers to you, Joey, for that advice and coaching.
Oh, I love that. I really do love that. So yesterday we were talking about we named some players, right? When we were talking about the draft, and one of them
Right,
was my buddy Patrick Leonard. And
right.
I've had the luxury of sharing a table, a final table in an NAPT event with both Patrick Leonard and with Cherish Andrews. And these are two amazing professional storytellers that use aggression in the right ways. They know how to exploit the calling stations. They know how to see a flop and figure out exactly what story do they want to tell. And they do it so consistently and so convincingly that when that river comes and the draw comes in, you just have to believe they have because you can't call them, because sometimes they do have it. This is what we're aiming to achieve. We are aiming to achieve that Jedi Knight zone that they are in, where they can convincingly tell that story and exploit the weaker players, exploit the better players who make mistakes, or even the better players who played solid that just can't call. And that's what we're aiming for.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that lesson, and I hope our audience members do too, because, even though some of us know it, it's good to have those reminders and to kind of review it. And reapply it. Maybe it's something that has been put on your back burner in your poker game. And you have to remind yourself that, I just need to be a little more aggressive. And, I may not pick the right spot, or what do I need to do to ensure that I do pick the right spot more often? So thank you for those reminders, Joey. Appreciate
You,
that lesson.
you got it.
Tell us what you're going to talk about tomorrow.
Oh, so tomorrow, see. Tomorrow. Um, so we're gonna start making the transition to understanding the story better. So tomorrow is about pay attention to people, not just cards. Because that's the whole other side that too many people, especially GTO players and online players, miss. And and when we recognize that we have a player that is either in their phone all the time or just not alert and aware, we can learn how to play those people, not just our own cards.
Right on. Looking forward to that lesson, Joey. Thank
Mhm.
you so much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that. Always some great food for thought. Absolutely. All right, a little gossip of the day. I saw Poker News released an article that Sheiky is going to be released from jail on June the 4th. Um, and I was thinking about why he was serving time. He had a 4-year sentence. He's getting out early for good behavior or whatever. And he was sent away for illegal cannabis business. And of course, I don't know the ins and outs, but as I ponder about it, I'm like, you know, did he get sentenced because the federal laws are not meeting the state laws and that they're not meeting the local laws because there's such a disconnect there that the lawmakers are around the nation are working on? Pardon me. You have to wonder how much of his conviction was because those laws are uh, not harmonious. So interesting. Hopefully, he'll write a book about it one day. I think it would be interesting to read about for sure. So Sheiky is going to be released on June the 4th. Thank you, Poker News, for that information for sure. All right, you guys, I'm just going to go through some announcements before we hit the road running with Maureen and Matt. Um, just some what I think are some reminders and some dates to be aware of. So we talked about it with Karen the other day. The National Open Chess, or is it Chess Open? National Open Chess Championship is June the 10th through the 14th at Westgate Resort. And Karen will be joining us on the speaker, except she's at some appointments this morning. So I appreciate her listening. So, and we will get into that chess championship when she is available at some point. So no worries, Karen, no worries. Of course, the 12th semi-annual TDA Summit is June 29th through 30th at the Poker Go Studios. Please go to Matt Savage's Twitter account or social media, and you can find the link to sign up to attend that. It is open to everyone. Even though it's a TDA summit, Matt wants to hear from players, operators, anybody. He wants, everybody involved in making the rules, which I love. Don't forget the Mixed Game Festival is hosted by the Bellagio and Robbie Stravinsky, and that's May 31st through June 11th over at the Bellagio, folks. The deadline to submit your fantasy team to the poker.org free roll fantasy is at 1 p.m. on Thursday. That's tomorrow. So you have till tomorrow at 1 p.m. to submit your free roll fantasy team. That's on poker.org. Sorry, I have an alarm going off on my phone to remind myself of something. All right. I don't think we gave out the 25K fantasy prizes on what they were. So I'm just going to go over those really quickly. Um, so first place in the 25K fantasy will get their team will get 250,000. Second place will get 125,000. Third place will get 100K. Fourth, 75,000. And fifth will get 50K. And I'm happy to say for the second year in a row, Team Spacers has submitted their team. So go us and good luck us. Hey, Karen, go ahead, hon.
Hey,
Welcome.
how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good, good, good. Just got back from the doctor.
Everything okay?
Yep, everything good.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm wondering if maybe, and I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I'm going to put you on the spot. Maybe if Ben would like to join us one day next week and tell us some chess advice or something, or what he's got going on.
Yeah, well, let me ask him about it. I don't see why he wouldn't be able to do that. Um, and he'll be, like we discussed before, he'll be at the national. So he's going to Vegas twice. He's going to be there for the National Open, which is June 10th through 14th. Then he comes home, and then we go out again on the 21st. But yeah, I can
I
ask him.
love it. He want to give us a chess lesson. Just tell us about what he does in the world of chess. For those that don't know, Karen's husband Ben is a grandmaster. So yeah, if he wants to give us some tips or whatever, I would love it. We would love it. So let me know, and we'll figure out a date and time and all that stuff.
Certainly, I
Okay?
will. And then the cool thing about the National Open, just in general, there is just so much crossover between people that play both chess and poker. And then we discovered, as you'll recall, Sherry, that time that you interviewed Bet on Drew, how he had played in the National Open
Yeah,
the same year that I played, right when I was getting into poker, and he and Ben were at the same table. So it's kind of cool that at that at the poker event that's at the end of that. So it's kind of cool. Nice little crossover.
it is very cool. And didn't you, after figuring that out on air with Bet on Drew, didn't you like find some pictures that he was actually in?
Yeah, I went and found because Drew put the link to his vlog. Drew had vlogged it because he was out there, of course, for poker, but then he did
Right.
some content surrounding the fact that he was playing in the National Open because he likes chess as well. So yeah, I went and looked and I saw footage. You could see me in the background, but Ben's right next to him at the table, so it's kind of funny.
It
I
is
didn't
funny. It's a
I
small
didn't know
world.
who he was at that time because I was brand new to poker. I mean, I had played like maybe 6 or 8 times at that, but yeah. So kind of nice little crossover. But yeah, I'll talk to Ben about getting on and saying a couple of words.
That would be awesome. I will look forward to that for sure. All right, you guys, I'm going to go over the patches list because it's getting updated, which I love because I'm all about let's be informed and be organized about it. Because you would not believe how many tweets or things on Facebook I see about this topic, and people don't even know that it exists. And, somebody that runs a pretty big organization in poker didn't even know it existed until um, yesterday when one of us reached out to them, and they were like, "What are you talking about?" And so somebody that's very like their full-time job is in the world of poker didn't know about it. Imagine the traveler, the rec player, they certainly don't. And it is good to know. It is good to know no matter their level of play. And guess what? What if they went to a booth? They have the booth, they pass out patches, and they get a patch, and they have no clue that they're not allowed to wear that patch. So, um, or whatever, it needs to be approved. I should have said it that way. It needs to be approved. So anyway, I just like to make sure we're continuing to evolve on that list and disseminate that information. It's rather lengthy, but I'm going to read it because I think it's important. And I think from this point forward, I'll just read it every couple of days. So first, the patches that are not approved are Coin Poker, Phenom Poker, WPT Gold, and Club Poker. The patches that are approved are GG Poker, the WSOP, BetMGM, ACR, Poker Stars, Poker Go, No Gamble, No Future, Vamoose Poker Tour, Globetrotting Poker, Joey's Angels, Poker Gods, Chip Leader Coaching, Bit B Poker, WPA, Omaha Mate, Jaka Coaching, GTO Lab, GTO Wizard, Poker Spot Pro, Gulf Coast Poker, Lips Tour, Gorilla Gaming, Mixed Games Lab. So that's all I have right now. If anybody knows of any others, let me know. We'll add it to the list. So there's your patch gate for the day, as I say. Maureen, can you go ahead and request a microphone so I can get you up here? It just is way easier if you request. It seems to be less technical issues when the person requests a microphone, and we'll get you up here for sure. There she is. Hey, Maureen. Good. How are you? Feeling better?
Yes, a lot. So,
Yay.
yeah.
Glad to hear it. Well, I have a couple more things I can make an announcement about as we wait for Matt to show up, okay?
Yeah, no, I have a couple more things too with the patches.
Oh,
So,
go right ahead.
yeah, on social media, I saw one tweet, I think Poker.org and Nikki Lomo, because Nikki is Club WPT Gold. So she had on like a special t-shirt yesterday from like the Las Vegas prison. And then also,
It was funny.
Yeah, tape over her hat, saying no logo. So just to let the listeners know, that's because she's associated with one of the brands whose patch wasn't approved. Also, tons of messages in poker groups I'm in. It's not, a flat out ban on patches, as Sherry says. Patches are approved. You just have to make sure that they are on the list. And also, it's not extreme. You can still wear your Nike stuff. Poker room merchandise, as Kev Math pointed out, and other brands. It's really just the specific poker brands that would need the approval from sponsorship at WSOP.com to wear.
And that is the email address that you would send an email to get a patch approved. And Joey, I know you went through the process yesterday. Tell us what it was like.
It was easy peasy. So all we did was upload some JPEGs of the patches, sent it to the email address, and within an hour we had a response that the patches were approved.
Perfect. Yeah. And they're not trying to make it hard or difficult, but they had to address situations. So here we are. And so far, there's only 4 that are not allowed. And if you're like me and Tracy, who have an article of clothing that we've been sewing or ironing patches on to for the last couple of years, you just have to cover up if you have any of those illegal, so to speak, patches on your garb. Just cover them up, pin something over it or whatever. Use tape like Nikki did. And if you didn't see that little video, it is cute because she has a jailhouse rock, not rock, but a jailhouse t-shirt. It is comical. So Maureen, thank you for that. Did you have anything else?
Not for patches.
Okay, perfect. You know what? There seems to be some people talking about parking passes, and I do want to bring this up. Kind of cool put out a tweet yesterday, and I'm just going to read it. It says, I shall say the quiet part out loud. You're going to see me around, but this year is greedy AF, and people notice. Bullet point number 1 is paid parking pass. Bullet number 2, paid credit card fees. Bullet number 3, a billion rebuys in deep stack tournaments. Bullet number 4, we shall monitor what you wear. Bullet number 5, rate the very new dealers, make them nervous. And so the reason I bring it up are a couple of things. First, the parking passes. They had those paid parking passes last year as well to the cages, and it's $100 per week for a parking pass, and you get it at the WSOP main cage and the for sales, and that's at the for sales room in the general registration line. But remember, if you have a platinum card through the Total Rewards program for Caesars, that card or anything above that status, you get free parking. So Diamond, 7-star, Diamond Plus. So virtually sounds to me like if you have a player's card, you're going to get free parking. So anyway, you need platinum or above for free parking on the Caesars properties. But you can buy a parking pass if you need it. And then the other thing was the fees on credit cards to use for registrations. Last year they waived it. Why? Because they wanted everybody to get on that app and register on the app. Well, you know what? They don't want to absorb those fees either. So this year they're not passing the whole fee on. They're only passing 2% on, and the fees are 3%. So they're taking 2/3 of the fee. You're taking 1/3. Yeah, nobody wants to pay more, but it is the world we live in these days. And, my question will be next year, are we going to be paying for that app? You heard it here first, folks. All right, Matt Savage, I see you're in the house, and Matt's joining us from the golf course this morning or afternoon, wherever you may be. Matt, if you request a microphone, it's the easiest way to get you up on stage. We have all kind of glitches on spaces these days. So if you could request a microphone, that will be great. And must be nice to be out on the golf course this morning. It's been a long time since I golfed. I really want to take it up again in my spare time. And I say that jokingly. If you know, you know. All right, Matt Savage. Welcome, Towley. How are you?
Good morning, ladies, or do I have to say good morning, women? What's the right way to say that?
Yeah, I'm just going to tell you something. I already have my speech written down for that topic. And and it's pretty good if I say so myself. I think you will appreciate it. At least I hope you will. But anyway,
So do I get to say ladies or women?
uh,
Ladies.
whichever applies, whichever applies.
Yeah.
Whichever you think is the correct, in the English language, sometimes using the word ladies is okay, and sometimes it isn't. Sometimes using the word women or woman is okay, and sometimes it isn't. So, choose wisely. Matt Savage.
All right, here we go.
All right, Maureen, I'm going to turn it over to you, love.
All right. Thanks. Hey, Matt. Thanks for joining us from the golf course.
Hey, Maureen, great to hear from you.
Hey, nice to hear from you. So Sherry and I wanted to do this workshop just to explain some of the rules, that people may have confusion on or don't understand. And some people don't even realize there's TDA rules or WSOP rules. So this is more about information than, correcting a decision that happened like 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Okay. So on the flyer, we have
Yeah.
some ice. Mhm.
What I always say is, it could be $1 million decision, so you should know the rules of the game that you choose to play in for sure.
Yes, for sure. But Matt, I became a dealer to learn the rules better. What can players do out there apart from reading the rules or participate in sessions like this? Is there a way to learn the rules better?
Well, I always suggest going to the Poker TDA website as a starter, and if you're going to play poker tournaments, you should go through those rules, learn them, and understand them, and then when you go to your property that you're playing, and make sure that they are following the TDA rules. If they're doing so, then you should have a basic understanding what the rules are going to be.
We're kind of losing you, Matt. Are you there, buddy? Go ahead, Maureen.
Yeah, I think we
Also,
lost
just
them.
through playing, I think is the best way to do it.
Matt, we have not heard you for about the last 30 seconds. Can you hear me, Matt?
Yeah, I'm right here. I just made a long putt, so
Matt, you're cutting out. Can you hear me?
I just. Oh no! Yeah. What?
I think he's okay. He's going to go down and come back up. He just made a long putt. I love this so much. This is why Spaces is amazing because we can have an open discussion about something as important as TDA rules while Savage is playing golf and we listen to the success of a long putt. Like it does not get any better. Oh my God. Oh, I love it so much. All right, let's see if we can get him back. All right.
Windy out here.
There you go. You sound better now, bud. Go ahead, Maureen.
Okay, great. So let's just jump right in. So the first question we had on our flyer was, when does a poker hand officially start? Anyone? Pop quiz. When does a poker hand officially start?
Isn't it when the dealer starts shuffling the cards or puts it into the shuffler?
When the big blind ante is posted.
Ooh, so so that's the wrong answer, Joey. So that's why we're here today. So Sherry is correct. It's when the dealer riffles, does the first riffle of the deck if they're manually shuffling. And I think that's something that many people get wrong, or perhaps it's done differently in other parts of the United States or other parts of the world. But it doesn't matter how long your big blind has been posted, etc. It doesn't matter. What matters is when that dealer does the first riffle.
And I'm going to tell you why I remember that is because when the blinds are going up, so many times the dealer will say, "Oh no, it'll be the next hand because I've already started shuffling the cards." So it's just a good way to remember it.
Yes, exactly. So if you want to read the exact rule word by rule, it's TDA rule number 23 or WSOP rule number 79.
Perfect.
Yeah. Any questions or comments or horror stories?
Not on that one. I'm waiting for my turn, although I'm sure I'm going to find a horror story in some of this.
Okay, so this is extra information. So why is this so important when we define when a hand starts? Okay, one of the biggest reasons, in my opinion, of why this is important, because, for example, say, you were all in, the dealer's new, she or he is counting out your chips. Then, you start counting your chips, in front of you. Then you're like, oh, crap, there's 200K missing, right? So any dispute would have to be raised to the dealer before the start of the next hand. So basically, you need to make the dealer aware that there was a mistake made before the official start of the next hand. So I know this has caused some issues in games that I have played.
Now, that has happened at a table with me before. I wasn't in the hand, but as you said, somebody, because it's very quick, right? The dealer takes in the cards and they're ready to shuffle, and get another hand done. And the person, is trying to like contemplate or process the information. And by the time they do, guess what? The dealer's already started dealing, so they can't even have that conversation.
Yes, exactly. So maybe I'll turn to Matt for this one. Matt, is there any leeway? Say the dealer riffled, but she hasn't pitched the first card. Is there any leeway, or can the player just say stop? I need to recount my stack. What's the best approach here?
All right, we're gonna have to. He's bounced. I'm sure he's having technical issues. So when he comes back in, just make a note of that, and we'll get him to answer that question. Okay, Maureen?
Okay, sure.
Maybe he needs to stand under a tree, touch the tree, put his hand above his head, and maybe find a piece of tinfoil. ASG, go ahead, buddy.
Now I have had it come up like once or twice where somebody will be in the middle of shuffling, the new player will sit down, and then it'll be a misdeal, and then because they didn't make the last hand, then they won't be able to be dealt in this hand after the misdeal because it has to do with like your when the hand begins.
Wait, say that again. I'm sorry. Say that again for me.
So the dealer either started shuffling or started dealing the cards. New player comes
Okay.
to the table, and then there's a misdeal, and then because the misdeal is supposed to go back to the beginning of the hand, the person still isn't part of the hand in the post misdeal.
Gotcha. They still gotta wait. Maureen, has that happened to you before, or Joey or Karen?
Yes, and that's officially how it should be done. I'm looking up the rule now. The rule number so everyone can do. Rule number 35 of the TDAs. We'll explain that in detail. And that's 35C. In misdeals, the redeal is an exact replay. The button doesn't move. No new players are seated. Limits stay the same. Cards are dealt to the players who were dealt in, but not at their seats for the original deal, and they can play the redeal. So if you want to review that, that's rule number 35 in the TDA.
Boy, that's a good one. Because that doesn't come up. See, that's the thing. That's why we're doing this. Things like that don't come up very often. And so to be familiar with it and get to know it now is going to pay off when you're in that little, in that spot. And now you know, and we've reviewed the rule and you have a basic idea and you can go to those TDAs and really read that rule number 35C and get it into your mind. So in the future, you're prepared. You're prepared for the battle, so to speak, on the topic. And you know your rights or someone else's rights, because guess what? You should be helping your neighbors as well. So go ahead, Maureen. You want to ask Matt that question you had?
Yeah, sure, Matt.
Yeah.
So
Okay, go for it.
we established about when the hand starts and disputing a pot. But is there any leeway? Say the dealer riffled, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, I'm short 200K.
Yeah, there's definitely leeway on that, and I want those situations corrected if at all possible. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people try to use that as a way to get out of maybe paying something like that. So I definitely want that pot corrected, especially if it can be corrected before the next hand is dealt.
Okay, wonderful. So hopefully it doesn't happen to anyone listening, but if you do, try to get the dealer's attention as quick as possible to get that pot rectified.
Awesome.
Okay.
Go ahead, dear.
All right, so moving along, this is quick. So your stack. So when and how can you surrender a stack, or actually, what does that mean? Did this ever happen to anyone?
Okay, because Maureen and I have been working on this together, I know you said you couldn't find a TDA rule about it, but I did find one mention of it in the TDAs.
Yeah, we could never come to an agreement on that. I like and think that best stack forward is perfectly fine, and I'm using it in every tournament that I can. Some people don't allow that. Some people don't allow you to surrender. Some people allow you to surrender. So it's one thing we could never come to an agreement on. We can bring it up again this year at the summit, but again, I don't think we're going to come to an agreement on it because everybody likes to do their own thing when it comes to surrender, not surrendering, letting players play a second stack, and all of those different type of scenarios. I'll give you an example. At the win, if you make it through the end of the day, you are not allowed to surrender, and you have to come back and play, whatever stack you have. But other places, you are allowed to drop your stack and then start over again. At some places, you are allowed to play the best stack. So again, I think it's something that we will not come to an agreement on.
Perfect. And that was my point here, just so that everyone's aware. Surrendering, not surrendering, etc. You would have to read the policy of the casino where you're playing. Make sure you read the fine print. And if you have any questions, definitely ask the TD of that tournament. If you can surrender, or if you bag, then you have to bring that bag into day 2.
All right, I will read this TDA rule where this topic is brought up, okay? It's under the seating, breaking, and balancing of tables section. Rule number 8B. In re-entry events, if a player is permitted to forfeit chips and buy a new stack, the forfeited chips will be removed from play. So I just wanted to read that because that's the only place I see it mentioned, and just wanted everyone to know that.
Okay, wonderful. Okay. Any questions so far? Or anyone want to share a story that happened with them with these rules that we just brought up?
And again, folks, if you're in the audience, anytime something rings a bell, you want to make a comment or question, just go ahead and request a microphone and we'll get you up here. Go ahead, Maureen.
Okay, so the next topic was the chip race. And I found out from different poker groups that some people don't even know what a chip race is. So for example, you're playing with 100 chips, then it gets very late in the tournament, the blinds are increasing, and the 100 chips are no longer needed in the game. So basically, the venue or casino defines, okay, at this certain level, we'll have a chip race, and all the 100 chips will come out of play. And this happens, with a process with the dealer. So my question is can you witness a chip race?
That topic gets sticky.
Some places you're allowed to witness. Some places you have to leave the room. I allow people to witness. I don't make people leave the room, but I mean these big ballrooms, they always want everybody to leave. So I allow people to witness.
And I'm just going to tell you, if you're using my stack to do the chip up, you're going to have to like really, get Matt Savage to come over there and drag me out because you are now using my chips. Yeah, I'm going to watch what you're doing. So.
Right. Okay. So surprisingly, I did look up both rules. The TDA, it's rule number 24, and the WSOP rule is 77 with the chip race. And it does say WSOP rule 77B, participants must have their chips fully visible and are encouraged to witness the chip race. So again, Matt, this is a question for you. If we are at the WSOP or, another big event, they're using our chip stack because we're the chip leader, to do the chip race. How bad should we fight to witness it if they're using our stack, or do we just, leave the room?
You should always be allowed to witness the chip race, especially if they're using your stack. Always.
Okay. Hear that, everyone? So especially if your stack is being used, definitely make sure you stay around and witness that. I think some mistakes can happen along the way, right? And again, as soon as you come back from break and you see a discrepancy, make sure you notify the dealer as soon as possible that there's a discrepancy before the game starts again.
And let me just remind everybody about my annual reminders. That's one of the pictures I tell you to take before you leave your table, right? Take a picture of your chip stack. So if you come back and there's doubts in your
but
mind.
here's the issue with you guys. And I'm going to say you guys. I'm going to say
Right.
everybody.
Right.
I can't tell you how many times people have come back and said their chip stacks are wrong, and they're incorrect. And it happens over and over and over again. And you could ask players, because I do ask players, how many chips do you have? And they have no idea.
Right.
So you need to learn how to count chips if you're going to be that person that's going to say, hey, my stack is short. Because I've gone to the cameras many, 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 many times, and they have never been right. According to me, it has happened where there's been mistakes. Unfortunately, not when I was doing the color changes, but when other people are doing color changes, there are mistakes. But yeah, take a picture of it. That's fine. I have no problem with that. And verify your chips, and also I'll learn how to count.
We may have lost him again. Go ahead, Maureen.
Yeah. Okay. So make sure everyone can count. And rule of thumb, chip stack should be in stacks of 20, right? That's a recommended procedure, stacks of 20, so that it's very
It is a recommended
easy.
procedure. There are people that want us to make it a rule.
Yeah.
And I am a fan of that as well. Make that a rule.
Yeah, there's no harm in that, is there?
No.
Okay. So I do have a question about the chips that is an anonymous question. Matt, can another player touch your chips? Or say you make a bet, can the other player spread out the bet that you place on the table?
Them are fighting words.
Oh, we should be. Yeah, nobody. The dealer should be the one
Uh-oh, Matt, we cannot hear you, Matt. You are cutting out. Damn the wind. We can't hear you, Matt.
Yeah.
Nobody should ever be touching your chips or your cards at any point.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay. So, Sherry, the next one was one that you brought to the table about mucking and retrieving. Is this really a thing?
Oh, I forgot that was one of mine. But we can look at rule number 65 in the TDA rule book. Accidentally killed, fouled, exposed hands. A player must protect their hand at all times, including at showdown while waiting for hands to be read. If the dealer kills a hand by mistake, and everybody's human, players make mistakes, dealers make mistake. Get help. Get help to the table if the dealer gets flustered or there's confusion. And yeah, they're gonna sometimes retrieve them out of the muck. And maybe Matt would like to talk more on that if he can hear us.
Yeah, I want the best hand to win always. So if it means you have to pull a hand out of the muck, I'm all for it. But it has to be retrievable and identifiable for that to happen.
And I think one of the most famous, stories about that is with Maurice Hawkins last year, right? And he ended up winning a hand that he actually had lost. And it was just the calamity of errors, but it happens. So go ahead, Maureen.
Okay. Any questions up until this point? Everyone's very quiet.
It's okay. We're learning.
All right. So here's a doozy for everyone. Raising. What the heck is the 50% rule?
Joey, can you tell us what that is?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that one more time?
Sure.
What the heck is the 50% rule with raising?
The 50% rule with raising. Okay, that's a good one. So I see this all the time when people put a min bet out and other people are like, no, it has to be double. So if the blinds are 500, 1,000, and somebody makes it 3,000, the next bet's not 6,000, right? It has to be at least whatever the raise is. Isn't that the rule? So if they raise it by 2,000, min bet is 5,000. But if somebody accidentally puts in not enough for a full raise, if they put at least 50% of that min raise, it's a min raise. You have to at least put 50% of it in.
ASG has his hand up.
Well said.
Thank you, Matt. ASG, did you want to comment on that?
Yeah, I get a little confused because aren't there some parts of this that only apply in limit? And maybe this has to do with the all-in versus and not the 50%.
Yeah, that has to do with all in. 50% of an 50% of an all in is considered a full bet in limit.
Okay, that's what I was thinking of when you're allowed to re-raise is what you said there. Okay. Because, yeah, I know people apply limit rules to no limit and vice versa, so I always get confused which one applies to what.
Thank you guys for those comments. And Joey, thanks for outlining it for us. Go ahead, Joe. Did you have something to add?
Yeah, so where we see this a lot in tournament play is you have a raise and a call, and then here comes the short stack that goes all in. And now people think it opens up the action again. But if it's not at least 50% of what the raise would be, the action is not open. But we see it all the time. Next person goes all in. No. The action You're capped now. You cannot raise because that person did not put a minimum raise in. And that's where a lot of players get confused.
I think you're right about that. Go ahead, Maureen.
Yeah. Okay. So that was some raising rules. Okay. This is one that always confuses everyone. I've seen it many places around the world. You're new to a table. When do you get to play? And I've seen so many cases where, sometimes they're like, I can't come in, I'm the small blind. But actually, in some cases, you can come in as a small blind, or you can come in as a single big blind.
Maybe Matt can comment.
Yeah, that one's easy, and if people can never figure it
Yeah.
out, but it's easy to know. If you are a new player, or from a broken table, you can take the small blind, big blind, or the button. If you are a balancing player, you can take the big blind or worse position, and it can be a single big blind. Repeat it. Come on, Maureen, I want to hear you say it.
So
Good thing it's not recording, Maureen.
I know. See, I even get messed up. But yeah, if you're new to a table, you can assume button, small blind, or big blind. If you're balancing a table, you can come in as the button. I'm sorry, as the big blind, and then also as a single big blind, the worst position at the table. But it's not as elegant as your answer, Matt. So I think I have to work on that one.
That was weird. Did a sound effect come out of my phone just then?
No, nothing.
It was so weird. I'm not sure what my phone is doing. Okay, Joey, go ahead.
Yep. So a lot of times the easiest way I look at it is if a new player is coming in, and does it change who is supposed to be the big blind and small blind? Because in a way that we can't have somebody post the big blind twice, right? So sometimes a player will have to sit out because you can't have two small blinds and you can't move the button. So it's if you are listening to the story and you see whose turn it is to be the big blind and small blind, it just has to make sure that those people don't post twice and somebody doesn't get to be the button twice. Does that make sense too?
Sorry.
Oh no, you're cutting out, Matt. Get that tinfoil hat on, buddy. Go ahead, Maureen.
Yeah. So if you want to review it, because it is, a little bit wordy, it's WSOP Rule 66 for the breaking order. Yeah. Okay. I also had a side comment here. When are you eligible to get your hand? So if you want to review that in the TDA, it's rule number 30, to be at your seat, to have the live hand. At your seat means in reach of your chair. This rule is not intended to encourage players to be out of their seats while in a hand. Also, to review that, WSOP rule number 82. And as we all saw last night on social media, this rule came up with a Martin Cabral situation. So you can enjoy that on Poker News.
Well, and it's so funny because I was like, wow, was this like it seemed like it was more events happened at that table with Martin before we got to that video, because those people at his table mates were wound up. And I'm like, okay, they had either been sitting with him for hours and are fed up, or they just have the 411 on him and they're just prepared for his antics and are trying to put a stop to it quickly. But I also thought that he was okay. Like he wasn't close enough. How do you say it? Proximity. No, proximity. Thank you. Am I wrong in that? Wasn't he close enough to the table when he got up to shake somebody's hand?
Yeah, there's different versions of the video out, and that's what a couple of dealers chimed in on that tweet and said, he was always touching his chair and close to his chair. Again, I don't think we saw the whole situation to judge, but it's best that your, bottom is in the seat, I would say, to make sure, you're 100% there. But then the other rule is arm's length.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on. And Martin, you could tell, you just have to watch the video because I was like, oh my gosh, he is so trying to aggravate the people. And it was working. Like it was working. And I wonder how long they were all at that table together. And you know what? It's not okay to ruin somebody else's time at the poker table. Let me be clear. I'm not about that. Everybody should be enjoying their time at the poker table. Go ahead, ASG.
Yeah, and that hand though, that wasn't about being dealt in. That was about whether or not you abandon your hand for it to be dead. I think that's a little
Right.
different than the question of getting dealt cards or yeah. But I don't know exactly what the. So I would think getting up while the hand is the same as abandoning your hand.
Yeah, and let's talk. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it comes to a point with the guys like Cabral and Kasuf. And Kasuf had one of those hands last year where I think the floor men made a not a great decision, in my opinion, by killing his hand. Those guys, they get so much, they get in the way of the floor so much and so often, and they have to be attending to those people. So I think that sometimes they don't get the right rulings against them because of all of the things that they've done to get to that point.
Right. It's a pile-on because of the pile-on of infractions.
Yeah. Okay. And then that's a good segue into one of the final questions is there any situation where the player can ask for the floor themselves, or does the dealer always need to call the floor?
Yeah, a player can definitely call for a floor, but don't waste our time. But yes, the floor can definitely, they can definitely call for a floor. Because Cabral
So
calls
wait,
for
you're
the floor
saying
all the
we
time,
shouldn't call
and
for
he's
the
just
floor to
wasting
find
time.
out if 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is where ace queen?
Yeah,
It's the winner
exactly.
instead of the king queen hand. Oh, and the reason why I threw that question in is because I've heard over the years, especially a new player. I didn't know I could call the floor, or I didn't know. I just was listening to the dealer when I asked them and questioned it. They kind of just shushed me off, and I never got an answer. And that's kind of like the perfect time to say, okay, I need your supervisor, or the TD or the pit boss or whatever, because the dealer, for whatever reason, they may not know, they may be having a bad day. They're not addressing the issue you're asking that it be addressed, and sometimes you just have to ask, or they have a rule confused, and you may know the rule because you've been studying with us here in Spaces, and you're like, oh, that may not be correct. I think we need to get a TD over here to, make sure we're going by the right rules, right? And, there's no shame in that game. And, I've been at a table before, not even in the hand, and I've requested a TDA come a TD come because the dealer is just wrong. And I want it to be right for whoever's in the hand, whether I'm in it or not. So, yeah, here we are. I'm going to go to Doinky because he just came up. Did you have something to comment about, Doink?
Yeah, I have a question regarding that Kasuf call where you think they might have gotten it wrong or is a little much. Is there anything codified for, rascals, like an escalating penalty? Or is that kind of like getting Al Capone on taxes where everyone
No,
knows it's
absolutely,
fine?
there is. There's definitely escalating penalties, but that hand, I mean, honestly, that floor person could have affected the entire tournament. What if the other player wanted him to call in that spot and they're killing his hand? You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't ever want the floor people to be the ones that are involved in determining the outcome of the tournament if it's not, a rule that's firmly broken, right?
Right. That's
But
fair.
yeah, there is definitely escalating penalties, and Kasuf got away with it for so long, and it was kind of the media was loving it, right? They were thinking it was great until it wasn't, right? Until he went deep in the tournament, and then it wasn't good anymore. So, but yeah, I would like it to be fair, balanced, and just like Fox News, fair and balanced.
Yeah, like a discretionary thing. So kind of like a garbage time in the NBA, where you don't want the refs to decide a good game.
Right on.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
I don't want those decisions to be that much involved in the play of the game.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you, Doink. Appreciate you. Go ahead, ASG. Your hand is up. Sorry. I got a frog
Yeah.
in my throat. Go ahead, ASG.
All good. So yeah, I just wanted to mention when you're talking about calling the floor. I've probably called the floor more on before a situation arises than I have when a situation has arisen. Like to make sure that the rules are understood, that everybody agrees with what a situation is happening. Normally, this is like when you're a certain special situation is about to arise, and you're like, okay, so before this turns into a thing, how about we call the floor, make sure we know what the rule is, so when it becomes a thing, we know what the rule is. So you don't need to wait for there to be something
100%.
chaotic for you to call the floor.
I totally agree. And sometimes I've asked, and I'm like, okay, I would like the TDA to come over so we can make sure the next time, right, it happens that we know we're all on the same page. And that usually is after people have been arguing over the same rule and how it's being applied. And we just want clarification so we can, know what the hell to do, for sure. So go ahead, Maureen.
Yeah, so I just have some anonymous questions that were submitted.
Perfect.
So one has to do with talking heads up. So heads up, people may speak. When a player says exactly his own hand, is this allowed?
No, it is not. You are not allowed to discuss the contents of your hand at any time during the hand. You're not allowed to discuss the contents of your own hand during the hand. So no, it's not allowed. And
Okay,
then people will
so
say, well, what if I was lying? No, that's dumb. Stop.
What about calling out the board or what you see on the board? Oh, look, there's 3 diamonds. Oh, look, a flush might come, or oh, look, there's 2 pairs, or what about those kind of comments from the peanut gallery?
No, you shouldn't be. You shouldn't be making. Yeah, you shouldn't be making comments, especially if you're out of the hand. But even if you're in the hand, you should be talking about. Can't say
You're
about
you're cutting out, Matt.
that.
You're cutting out, buddy.
Possibilities or things like that. But you can't talk to the other player. I'm a firm believer in tabletop, but you shouldn't be telling people what's on the board.
I'm just going to surmise what he said, and that is keep your mouth shut, people, unless and anything that influences the action, right? And I say that, Matt, because you were
Correct.
cutting
That's
out.
correct.
yeah.
That is correct.
Okay, so the same person has a detailed example. I guess it happened in the past where the small blind versus the big blind, small blind calls, big blind shoves all in. Small blind says, oh, do you have aces? Big blind says yes. Small blind calls, they go to showdown, and big blind shows aces. The player wants to know, would he lose a hand or be penalized for saying that he has aces and does indeed have them?
We might have lost Matt, but keep that question on the back burner and we will get him up here to answer it. ASG, did you have a comment about it?
Oh yeah, I would don't want to speak for Matt, but I believe the answer is that you're not supposed to say you have it, whether you have it or not. But you're not gonna be able to lose the hand because of what you said. Just you'd get a penalty for it after the fact, because you never lose the pot because of something that you get penalized for.
Yeah, that's what I would have had said too. This player just wanted some clarification on the situation for future reference. Yeah. Okay, so for WSOP, rule number 116 covers your table talk. If you need to review that, it's quite lengthy for sure. And the final question on my list is actually ASG, your question from yesterday about the show one, show all.
Yeah, I've had people tell, like, you show one card and somebody goes, show one, show all, you need to show both. And I'm like, that's not what show one, show all means. So I just want to...
Go ahead, explain what it means, ASG. Go ahead.
Sure. So if you show the player to the right of you what your cards were, you have to show the whole table. That's what show one, show all is. Not,
Correct.
not the other thing.
It means if you're willing to show your neighbor your cards, you have to be willing to show the whole table your cards. And it is okay when you're across the table from somebody doing that, that you call it out and say, show one, show all. And that also makes the dealer aware that that's going on. And then that person's got to show the whole table their cards. And most of the time when you do that, the person will stop showing their neighbors their cards. So it is a good deterrent as well.
Oh, but I should add, if you show your neighbor who has folded your cards mid-hand, that doesn't mean you now need to show the live people in the hand during the hand what your hand is.
Correct.
That's not how that works either.
Correct. Yes, after the hand, people, after the hand.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And then that's covered under WSOP rule number 117 under exposing cards and proper folding, and TDA rule number 67, which covers the same information. I just have one other reminder because I did reread the WSOP rules last night. And under rule number 68, number of participants at the final table. So this is WSOP rules. A 9-handed event will combine to a final table of 10. An 8-handed event combined to a final table with 9. A 7-handed event combined to a final table with 8 participants, and 6-handed event combined to a final table with 7. So that is rule 68. And then for TDA, they have a recommended procedure, number 9, number of players at the final table. And for TDA, they say for a 9 and 8-handed event, they will combine from 2 tables of 5 players each to a 9-handed final table. So in TDA, you don't see a 10-handed final table like you do at the WSOP. So that's just one thing I wanted to point out.
I love that. Is there any doubt why Maureen's my friend? I mean, you talk about 2 peas in a pod. I think you guys witnessed it today because, we both are so passionate about it, and we like to dig deep like ASG does too, and Joey, and I know many of you in this space. So I appreciate you, Karen. I appreciate Karen too, but Maureen, I appreciate your effort and your idea to do this. Your idea to discuss the rules, and I just said, "Hey, let's do a space and do just that." So I hope the audience has enjoyed it as much as I have, and we will do this again if you guys want us to. So submit questions, and that will be the way we know you want us to do it again. We're not only doing it to educate ourselves, educate you and others, but it's also in preparation for that tournament directors summit so that maybe we can identify some rules that may need to be tweaked, or maybe the verbiage needs to be changed so it's easier to understand when somebody reads it, whatever the case is. We hope that these study sessions help everybody out for sure. So again, we'd like to do it again. If you have any questions to submit, or something comes up when you're playing in the next couple of weeks, reach out to Maureen, myself, and we will have another workshop. So I hope everybody liked it. Maureen, you have any other words on it?
No, does anyone else have any other questions they want to bring since Matt's here for some expert advice or explanation?
We'll pretend he's here right now, but I'm sure he's going to come back in.
Okay, we'll
And when he
pretend
does,
he's here.
when he does, we'll certainly get to him to answer the question. But I appreciate your efforts for sure, Maureen. Happy to call you my friend.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you for providing the platform, and hopefully it was okay. I didn't want to be too technical or too boring, but I was like laughing last night when 3 different things popped up on Twitter that all, involved rules. So that's why it's important.
It is very important. It is because most of those rules we don't even think about until we or our table are involved with it, right? That something's happened. And now here's this arbitrary rule that we forgot about from 5 years ago is in play. And what did that rule say? And how is it applied? And is it being applied correctly? And so, I suggest the TDA rulebook, WSOP rulebook, they're not that big, but I'm going to tell y'all, at least once a year, peruse both of them. Even if you skim through them, whatever, it's good to have those refreshers. Go ahead, ASG.
So another one that comes up, but is very complicated, and the simple version of the solution of this is just look at the structure sheet. But if you're big blind only in a pot limit game, there is a phantom small blind for allowing you to what you're allowed to raise up to as the first to act. So instead of worrying about that phantom small blind, just the structure sheet says what the maximum first raise is. You can use that regardless of if there's a small blind.
Okay, I'm just going to say that's all Greek to me, but I'm sure people in this room understood exactly every word you said. And so I'm glad you brought it up and gave us clarification on it.
Okay, so the question is like, if there's a big blind only, what's the size of the pot is the issue. And so they make up a rule for tournaments that you can use the small blind that doesn't exist in calculating the size of the pot when determining your raise size. So, but the point is, the structure sheet says what the max raise size is in pot limit, and that doesn't change whether or not there's a small blind
Got it.
in the actually existing.
Got it. Thank you for bringing that up. Appreciate you. Go ahead, Joey.
Thank you, ASG. I'm a PLO player. I love that you pointed that out. So I have a question for Maureen and Matt. I kind of think I know the answer, but things keep changing and I see it done different ways. So as you know, I like to be a bluff catcher. And there are a lot of situations that arise where somebody bets, I call, and then the player says, "You're good," and they muck their cards. Now, it's my understanding that I paid to see their cards, that I am entitled to ask the dealer to flip over those cards and show me what I paid to see. Is that true?
Yes.
Yet so many dealers that I've seen it, they just take that hand and they pull it into the muck, and I have to call the floor, right?
I'm going to tell you something that happened to me up at Cherokee when I was there a few weeks ago. And I did not have a chance to speak to the floor about it before I left. And I just observed it, honestly. I wasn't in the hand, but I observed it and I felt like it could have been a learning moment for the dealer. But I honestly left a few hours later and just completely forgot to talk to the TD about it or the pit boss about it. But anyway, there's a hand and they're at the river and the guy bets and the other gentleman calls and the guy that calls now, the guy that calls, oh no, the guy that bet, the guy that let out, says what his hand is. I don't remember what his hand was, but he says, I've got this. And the other guy just mucks his cards and goes, I'm good. And so then the guy that let out just mucked his cards and never showed. And I said, wait a minute, doesn't somebody have to show their cards to win the pot? And the whole table shut me down. And I was like, I'm pretty sure somebody's got to show the winning hand, don't they, Maureen?
Yeah, I wish Matt was still here. There's two examples in the TDA book, rule number 18, and they do two examples, example 1 and 2. So Matt's back in. Maybe let's have him really explain that, because I don't want to say something incorrect.
But I just want to go back. You're not paying to see their hand. You're paying to win the pot. Now, when it comes to the cards, though, like it's the same rule as the person who called is the person who bet, where you can ask to see those cards, and it's I guess frowned upon, but definitely a rule that you're allowed to see the cards. So it's the same way betting or calling, where you can ask to see their hand, and then that makes it now live again. But that's the price you're paying to see that hand. But whether it's the person who bet or the person who called, you can ask to see the hand regardless.
Does Matt show as having a microphone or a listener? I show him as a listener. Matt, if you can request a mic. Of course, Twitter is crazy. He may not be able to hear us. Next time he does this from the golf course, we have to make sure he takes his tinfoil hat for reception. Go ahead, Maureen. There he is.
Yeah, I'm here, and it sucks. It's windy out here. It's
I
really
know,
windy in
bud.
Vegas.
No worries.
Sorry. I'm so sorry about that. But requesting to see a hand, that's the last part that I caught of that.
Okay, there's two different things we're talking about. Go ahead, Joey, and ask your question of Matt.
Yeah, so Matt, if I am calling somebody's bet, I've seen people like they're bluffing and they don't want anybody to know what their range is, what cards they were playing the whole hand, and they just immediately mug it. So my question is, I thought I'm entitled to X the dealer to flip those cards over and let me see the hand that's being mugged. Like
Yes, you are. If you are the caller in the hand, you are allowed to ask to see it. But if that hand beats yours, you lose.
Right, which we 100% would get that. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, now here's the other scenario, Matt. And this isn't a cash game, just for the record. It is at the river, and the lead first act bets. He gets a caller. The first act says whatever his hand was. I've got blah blah blah. The caller mucks his hand. The first act mucks his hand face down, and we never see any cards to win the hand. Do we have to see a winning hand?
No, the last active hand wins the pot. And yeah, the last active hand will win the pot in that case. So no, you would not need to. It's the same thing as if somebody mucks and then one guy with an active hand, but there's nobody else with a hand, he wins the pot. Make sense? The last active hand wins the pot.
But shouldn't they have to table it, just regardless?
They do not have to table it, no.
Thank you for that clarification. I always thought you had to see the winning hand, like somebody.
If there's still two hands out there, then yes. But if there's only one hand out there, then no.
Got it. So because the guy mucked his hand, there's now only one hand left.
Yep.
Remember that, people.
Yeah,
Remember
but I
that.
just had a funny story to go with the Joey scenario. Is there's a hand from long ago between what's his name, Roland DeWolf, and who's the guy who won the main, Rankin something, German guy.
Yeah, Tobias Rickemeyer, and I think they ruled that incorrectly.
Oh, okay. So anyway, in the hand, it gets to the river. DeWolf bets. I forget if it's all in. Rankenmeyer calls, and DeWolf says, you probably, you got to basically, I have king high. Shows the king high, but doesn't show the other card. Rankenmeyer says, "Well, either show your other card or muck." DeWolf mucks, then Rankenmeyer shows how he only has Queen Eye and was betting that that DeWolf wasn't going to show his whole hand, so he gets the pot.
Wow. Wow. Interesting. All right, Joey, go ahead, buddy.
No, I love that you brought up that topic, Sherry, and I love Matt's explanation. So, and there's another side to the coin that Matt kind of hinted to. So, let's say somebody says you're good, and they fold, and their cards are lying there on the table. You don't have to show your cards, but if you do, just keep in mind that those two cards, if they're retrievable, that person, that's not really a muck. They are allowed to grab that hand and say, oh no, wait, I won.
Right.
So,
Yes, that is correct.
yeah, so I love that we went into this there because a lot of players are not aware of that.
Good point, Joey. Good point.
Just know this about me. I always want the best hand in a called pot to win. I don't want people to say, hey, somebody on the rail saw my hand and said, hey, you have a straight. And then they turned it over and they say, no. That player told me you had a straight. So you don't win the hand. You had the best hand. You called. You win the pot.
I love it that we're pointing this out because I think this confuses people. I mean, it had me confused in it. And it's a good one to bring up for sure. Isaac, welcome to the panel. Did you have something to add, sir? Question, comment?
First off, good morning, everybody.
Hey.
Just listening. I mean, I've been in some instances where I've seen some things that I'm like, huh? The whole thing about, just mucking your cards and saying you're good, that one has happened to me a bunch of times, actually, where I'm kind of waiting to see the hand and the dude just says you're good and mucks it. And sometimes you want to make a big stink about it, right? But other times you just kind of keep playing. But that's good to know. You could tell the dealer to be like, hey, I want to see those cards. Very dope. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. It's what you know, right? It's what you know. Anthony, welcome, friend. How are you, Anthony? Long time no see.
Hey, I have a wool that I use in that situation to protect myself. I hold on my cards until the pot's awarded to me.
And that's a great rule to have for yourself. There's no confusion there. You're raking in the
Yep.
chips, right?
And also, I have a quick question about rules, not about these rules, but other rules. I don't know how difficult this question is. If it's difficult, don't worry about it. But like, say multiple people act out of turn, and the player doesn't bring that to the tables or dealer's attention. How many how many places of acting out of turn no kills that person's hand or their action? I've heard multiple variations of that.
Matt, are you
If
there,
that
bud?
makes sense, I don't know if that
Yep.
question made sense. I could reword it.
Matt, did you hear that question? He's on the golf course, so
Oh, you're good.
we're facing some IT issues, but we're just hanging in there because that's what we do here in Spaces. So give him a minute and he'll be back and you can ask it again, okay? Les
All
Maureen,
right.
did you have something you wanted to say about the question?
No, let's defer that to Matt.
Okay.
all, all, all the tough ones go to Matt. Like I'm I'm a little
I
bit
agree.
rusty. Yeah, I'm a little bit rusty in some rules, and you'll even see me on Twitter. Hey, Matt, what's the ruling here? During the year, or can you explain this a little bit further? I would say I'm like
So,
80%.
so you guys are asking when is a hand dead? That's a TDA
No,
rule. You'd be able to
no.
find that one. It's
Let me
basically
clarify the question. Like, say I'm under the gun and I don't stop. Like, somebody folds after me and it's still my action. I haven't acted yet, and two people fold after then a third person folds. At what point is it my responsibility for my action to not be dead because I didn't bring it to
yeah.
the table's attention?
That is a TDA rule. So it's two actions with chips, which would be a bet and a
Okay,
call, or three actions without chips. So
perfect.
if three people fold after you, your hand's going
All
to be
right,
dead. And again, that's subjective to me. If it goes bang, 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 and the guy said, hold on, and three people already folded, then I'm still going to let you play your hand.
perfect.
But if you didn't say anything, then it's going to be a dead hand.
All right, thank you for that, because I've always heard multiple variations of that, different opinions, but that's good to know.
Look it up in that TDA book
Yep.
there, Anthony. Thank you for that question.
And
I think
and
that's
an,
an important one. Go ahead, bud.
and another thing I want to say is it's always falls on tournament director's discretion anyway. That's another caveat that kind of protects the situation.
Absolutely. And I'll see you on.
Yeah, I definitely will overrule TDA rules if it's something that's going to protect the integrity of the tournament. Or honestly, if it's a player that I know that is new to the game, I'm going to give them a little more protection also.
Love that.
Awesome. Thank you for that information.
See you at the meetup game, Anthony. Looking forward to it.
Well,
Yeah, Maureen gets no air at all.
I know.
I love it. Oh, Matt's worst nightmare. Maureen and I are both going to be at the TDA summit together, Matt.
No, I actually love that.
Thank you. Thank you. We
Yeah.
appreciate you, buddy.
I guess one last thing for me, Matt, because like I play all over the world, and what's really getting on my nerves lately is, properties are saying we follow TDA rules, but then have all these exceptions. So it's just
So they have.
confusing sometimes. Yeah, especially,
Yeah, there honestly shouldn't be many exceptions to anything. I mean, we've got them pretty well dialed in. It shouldn't be many exceptions to any of those rules.
yeah,
Honestly.
but here in Europe, some places have the rule first card off the deck. You have to be in your seat or you're not dealt in the hand. Others use, the last aggressor for showdown. Even if it's check on the river, they go back to the river. They go back to the turn action of who gets the showdown. So just like little things like that, but they can really, change the game. So that's my little complaint at the moment. It's very small, but yeah, you can't say you follow TDA then not follow TDA.
Yeah, those are a couple good ones that I still see. And honestly, first card off the deck was better. But
Yeah.
we lost that argument years ago, and I just prefer everybody do it the same.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal. I just prefer everybody does it the same. Last aggressor is just annoying,
Yeah.
because it's not necessary. If somebody raises pre-flop and then there's check down to the river, going back to the pre-flop is not necessary in my opinion.
Yeah. So again, it's a small issue. I don't think, an issue, to spend 45 minutes on at the TDA. But yeah, it just keeps me on my toes at some venues.
Go ahead, ASG.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on a paired board if somebody says, I have two pair, like even outside the hand, like how much should you speak up of being like, okay, which two, like, like I feel like people use that to angle, but I'm always curious about speaking up.
We may have lost him. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, I know. I always want you guys to speak up. I think that in situations where you think you are doing something to protect the integrity of the game, please speak up. That's why I had that big long discussion about somebody seeing a hand like with Maurice Hawkins. If the media had seen that and said, "Wait a minute, he had the best hand," and it was stopped and corrected, I would be all for that. But we had a big discussion and argument about it, and we will talk about that at the summit as well.
Point well made. Point well made for sure. Yeah, calamity of errors on that one for sure. Anybody else have any other questions for Matt while he's here trying to putt his best life? Go ahead, SG.
Okay, so not related to a current question, but I think more or a bigger issue than the glasses with whatever smart technology is, I think we're going to be approaching shortly that we're not going to have foreign card protectors because there's just too many accessories that can have these little cameras. So I was just wondering if that's something that's going to be brought up in the TDA.
For sure. It'd probably be the first topic we talk about, glasses. Headphones, by the way. I know half of you guys or more than half of you don't ever want to take away headphones, but if I'm playing in a hand with Sherry and I text her, "Hey, I had the ace of spades. Don't worry about that," and it goes into her ear, and nobody at the table will be able to know, it's a problem.
It is a huge
It's a
Yeah,
problem.
problem. It's going to happen.
And
yeah,
and
we're
So
poor
getting more and more that
Victoria,
people are like, yeah, sorry,
poor Victoria is going to have a nervous breakdown about it. But
yeah. No, I was just
uh,
saying we're getting more and more
poor
where
Victoria. Victoria's getting crushed. It's sad actually.
mm,
It's just
well,
sad.
and
It's really
it's
annoying.
really about the majority, right? And whatever it is, whatever people want to do, I'm all for it as long as it's best for the game and the majority has spoken, right? And I get it. Some people just don't like that noise at the table. I respect it. I have no problem with it. But the integrity of the game is at risk. Cheating, yeah, let's get rid of whatever it is that's cheating and, helping that situation, for people to cheat us. So we got to protect the game. I hate we've come to that point, but there's always somebody.
Totally agree. Protect the game.
Protect the game,
and
protect
for
the
the people
players.
who you don't know how much information you're losing by wearing headphones. Just my personal opinion. There's certain even big pros that I think are revealing a lot about their hands. That if you like read between the lines of certain people, cough cough, dentally cough cough, you might get a large view of what they might be holding.
And how annoying is
Uh,
it that every time it's their turn, what's the bet? Is it my turn? Oh, it's my turn. Oh, what's the bet? Is it my turn? I mean, come on, it's so annoying at the table.
The social experiment was fun. People they couldn't play poker without headphones or phones or whatever, but we did it. We did it 3 times, and it was great. It was actually fun.
Yeah,
Fun to play.
yeah. Only time you'll get a charge out of this. I don't listen to my ear. I don't have earbuds in or anything, unless somebody like right next to me is like super drunk and they just won't shut up or whatever. And I'll put my earbuds in, but I don't even plug them into anything. They're like the cord is literally hanging down, not plugged into anything. And at some point, and it's usually after an hour or two, I'll like pick it up and hold it to see if anyone even notices. Because, we're supposed to be paying attention at the table. If anybody even notices, it's not even plugged into anything. It's hilarious. Talk about a social experiment. Try it one time. So funny. Go ahead, Joey. Joey, you have your hand up, bud?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
So we have to give a lot of credit to Matt Savage because what he's up against is just it's you have no idea how he's if you want to get a glimpse of what he's up against, I've written this fictional series called Poker Gods. And in Poker Gods, I talk about meta contact lenses. This is what we're up against. Meta contact lenses are out there. So I give you a lot of credit, Matt, because the technology just keeps getting more and more advanced.
I think I talk about it every year. I say every single year, I say we're going to be talking about this in 2 years, and it's going to be more and more. And every year, people say, "Oh, you're crazy. Phones are no big deal. Headphones are no big deal. Glasses are no big deal. We got to protect people because ADA they have to be able to wear glasses they want to wear." But I'm telling you, it's going to be brought up again this year. It's going to be fought. It's going to be turned down. But in 2 years, after 3 or 4 cheating
Right?
scandals, you're going to say, "Oh,
Well,
Matt might have been right about that."
speaking of cheating scandals, that's why I brought up what I did because last year there was a big thing with I think it was the World Series cash games,
Yep.
Omaha, where somebody was wearing a ring with a camera, probably.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. It's that wasn't just at the World Series, by the way. It was all
Right.
over the world.
Right.
So,
And it's a big problem because it's the integrity of our game and a ring, a pair of glasses, a headset, a card protector. All of those things are now putting our game into jeopardy. The integrity of our game is in jeopardy because of those items and a telephone. And, we got to do something about it for sure. And, hopefully it's not going to be 2 years from now. I agree, it probably will be, but we have to take action before the scandals, not after. Go ahead,
yep.
Isaac.
Well, in regards to that, does that mean that, like, for the future, say you want to make a card protector and you want to give it out to, for us, like, GBG, giving it out to our players, would we have to, like, apply at some point, kind of like with the patches, for them to get approved if all that happens?
Excuse
And
me.
just be prepared that the floor should be able to pick up pick it up and make sure there's no potential device in this thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Inspection.
Just
Yeah, yeah, okay.
yeah,
Cool, cool, cool. Dope, dope. Thank you.
yeah, yeah.
Inspection. So make sure your card protector doesn't have a cord coming out of it that's plugged into your glasses and your earphones.
Exactly, exactly.
Right? Okay. Anybody else have anything else they want to bring up? Now's the time because we're going to let Mac go try to hit a hole in one.
I guess I got one more.
Go
Uh,
ahead.
Yeah,
Now, cards, well, only cards that are at, like, feature tables have RFID chips in them, right?
yeah, that's correct.
Okay, cool. Then it's a moot question. Never mind.
That's a good question, though. Some of them might not know that. So, very good question. Matt, appreciate you as always, my friend. We'll let you know if we're going to do this again. We're going to let it be
Yeah, let's
driven.
definitely do it again when I'm not out here and losing all my money. But that's okay. We can do it again.
No
Yeah,
worries.
thank
I
you
would
so
love.
much, Matt.
I'm getting beat up by Eric Lindgren today.
Uh
Oh
oh.
So
no.
Get
when's
him.
the TDA again? When's
Get
the
him
summit?
here.
TDA Summit, June 29th and 30th at the Poker Go Studio. Day one will be 9 to 5 p.m. and day two will be 9 to 3 p.m. Hopefully, we'll do a tournament the first night. Still got to talk to Paul Campbell about that, but hopefully, it'll be a tournament and it'll be open to everybody,
Awesome. Love
everybody
it.
that attends. Okay.
Appreciate you, Matt. Go ahead, Maureen. Any closing remarks?
No, just thank you very much. And yeah, let's give us your feedback if this is worthy to do again, or maybe perhaps we need to do it yearly in a different type of format and really, dig deep into examples, maybe with some videos or some real life cards. So give us your feedback.
Yeah, submit questions. That'll be the best feedback you can give us to let us know if we should do it again. Submit questions, and when we get enough of them, then we'll put another one of these workshops together and we'll work through those rules. And obviously, we've been at this for quite some time today. So it is something that all of us are interested in and have, lots of folks have brought up some good rules to discuss. So appreciate that. Go ahead, Anthony.
I vote for digging deeper in a dedicated space with
All right.
Yeah,
examples
I'm
and
up for it,
everything.
and I'll be able to get a lot more tournament directors and things on there
Yeah,
than what I have at times for sure.
that would be awesome and very informative.
Love it.
Yep.
Love the idea. I'm here for it, you guys. Whatever you guys want to do. Maureen, I appreciate your efforts as always. Oh, I see Joey's trying to get back up here. Um, Go ahead, Isaac.
Thank
Uh,
you, women and gentlemen. I mean, ladies and gentlemen.
I suggest that we do, like, everybody takes a shot, and then you got to recite, like, TDA rules, and
TDA rules roulette. Is that what I'm hearing here?
yeah, you know what I mean. And if you get the rule wrong or something, then you got to take two shots. I don't know, something like that. But I think it should be a fun drinking game.
That's hilarious. Well, I appreciate all the questions for sure. And I appreciate Matt and Maureen covering the subject matter. Um, it's good for all of us. The discussion is good for all of us. So we're going to go ahead and end the discussion now so we can disseminate some more information that's important to everybody's experience right now in Vegas. And I'm going to start by I see Joe Marengo has been in the space with us today. He's kind of been going in and out, so he may be working, but he did let me know that he's going to do the Joe's Express again this year. And what that basically is Joe will be your personal driver while you're in Vegas. And if you need him to pick up something from a dry cleaner, the laundry, groceries, whatever, he can run that errand for you. So that is Joe Marengo, and he's going to be doing it from 8 a.m. to 2 a.m. And then
Wait, Joe Marengo's driving people around? Is that what you just said?
yeah, yeah.
I might need her. I'm going to the No Doubt concert. I'm not playing any stupid poker. I'm going to go to a concert.
Oh, yeah,
So,
he's your man. He's your man, Joe Marengo. You
That
know,
shit is bananas.
all right.
yeah. Joe Marengo,
All right.
if you need,
Joe, send me a DM.
yeah, I don't know if he's still in here, but we'll make sure you get connected. I think he put something in the chat, didn't he? Let me look. Yeah, in the chat, people. Look in the chat is his information. So,
And you said he only does 2 shots before he takes you. Is that
right.
what you
Don't
said?
say that. Don't
Oh,
say that. No drinking
okay.
and
All right.
driving. No drinking and driving. But I've used him. Isaac's used him. Several people in here have used him, and he does a great job. And he will. He'll go to the store and pick stuff up for you and drop it off at your hotel, or he'll drive you to the store to go shopping, whatever. So definitely look in the chat, and you'll see Joe Marengo, and hit him up in his DMs if you
What kind
need.
of car does he have?
You know what? I don't know. He's got a new one, so I can't answer that question right now. I wrote in his
Sounds
other
good.
one, so
Ooh, he's got a new one. Dope. Okay.
yeah, and I don't know what it is. Isaac, you had your hand up. Go ahead, buddy.
Oh no, I was just saying I vouch 100% for Joe. Joe's a stand-up guy. Like Joe will come out at 2 a.m. to South Point if you're stuck,
Truth.
type of thing. Like my dude is like 100% the best. For that, for a concierge, I would use no one else.
Right
Yeah.
on.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
And if you have him come do some orders for your dispensary, he may or may not use his local weed discount that you get as a resident that you may or may not be allowed to do technically.
but we won't talk about that allegedly. So anyway, hit him up. Joe's the man. He lives there. He knows the ins and outs, and he can. He's a good driver. I've been in his car many a days. He's driven me around. He's driven lots of us around. So definitely use him if you can. Panama Joe, Joe's Express, Joe Marengo. Um, I wanted to get that out for him today because folks are starting to arrive, and now you can use Joe. I also wanted to bring up that they are doing single table tournaments on demand at the WSOP. $200 buy-in, 3K starting stack, 15-minute blinds. First place will get $1,100. Second place will get $600. So those are your single table tournaments at the WSOP. Don't forget to download your WSOP app, Bravo app, Poker Atlas app before you go to Vegas so you don't have to waste your time when you're there downloading that stuff, people. I cannot stress that enough. Why do you want to go all the way to Vegas to sit and download stuff? Is beyond me. Do it before you go. Go ahead, Isaac.
So these single table events, they're like on the schedule, or do you got to go like over to where the dailies are played and ask about them, or what?
On demand. So that means you
Yeah,
go
like
over to the cash. Um, well, that's how they used to do it. Not by the cash, by the daily tournaments. And you just
okay,
go up to the desk and say, "Hey, do you have enough people?" And usually there's people like waiting for them to like get enough people to do one. And so you just ask, and they'll be like, "Oh, we don't have anybody," or "Yeah, we got 4. We just need 5 more, or whatever." Um, but yeah, it's on demand.
sick.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, ASG.
Yeah, these single table tournaments are at the Horseshoe Hall of Fame poker room, so they may or may not be
Perfect.
doing registration at the daily spot. You may need to go to the
Perfect.
Horseshoe Hall of Fame poker room in order to
Which
see
is
how close they are to filling.
Thank you for that. And just for the record, that is just the Horseshoe's normal everyday poker room. Just so you know, in case you're not familiar with it. And it's called the Poker Hall of Fame poker room. But that is just the Horseshoe's normal poker room. So just go up to the desk and ask them about a single table tournament on demand, and they'll hook you up. Go ahead, Joey.
Yeah, actually, yeah, he just answered. He just exactly said what I was going to say. Just,
Perfect.
yeah, I love it. Thank you.
And I love it that I get help up here because, I gather lots of information, but I also miss some important information sometimes. So it being in the poker room at the Horseshoe is some information I appreciate you gave me.
I'm not going to make the Hall of Fame again, but I'd like to be nominated for the 11th time. I think that's
Okay,
fun.
first of all,
I like to be nominated.
first of all, positive energy. We need everybody to nominate and vote for Matt Savage for the Poker Hall of Fame. He is probably,
Oh, you can't vote. You can't vote. You
I
can
mean,
just only
nominate,
nominate.
sorry.
That's that's it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say that you may be the only reason that I even do that process this year because I am not happy about how things were handled last year. So you may be the only reason why I will even talk about that process right now. Just so you know.
Thanks, dear.
Yeah. So nominate Matt Savage.
Oh, can I call you? Am I allowed to call you
Yeah, of
dear?
course.
Or is that something to, I never know
Well,
anymore.
you know me well enough to know that that is not going to set me off. And if it sets somebody else off, too damn bad.
Thank you, woman.
You're welcome, man. Or is it Towley? I think it's Towley. We Isaac, go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Can we like get a nominate Towley shirt? I think we need a nominate Towley shirt for this summer.
Oh, I love it. You should have seen his face when I actually made him a Towley towel and gave it to him when we went to open up Bluffs in outside of Spokane. It was quite fun. Quite fun, Matt. I hear they're expanding, huh? To full or casino, Matt. I don't know if you can hear me. Desert Bluffs.
He might be swinging at the moment, but not for
Yeah,
real. Like,
Yeah.
exec.
Desert Bluffs.
yeah, they're good.
Desert
Yeah, they're
Bluffs.
going to expand and have some casino games now. I hear.
Yep, that's what I heard too. Good luck for for Chris.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that's out of Spokane in the Tri City area. If you're ever in Washington State, Desert Bluffs is a poker room. Matt was out there opening it with Justin Hammer. I was out there and just I happened to be in Spokane to see my kids, and so I drove over and quite a few folks were over from California and we christened that poker room and now they're expanding to include some casino games. So in Spokane or in Washington State, they do things a little differently. So they can have just like table games and poker if they're not owned by a tribe. So it's tricky. Their laws are tricky, but it's very exciting that that Desert Bluffs room is expanding for sure. And it's only been how many years, Matt? 2 or 3 that that's been open? I think it's 2. Hopefully he's doing a good putt. But anyway, moving right along, as they say. Um, I did want to, ASG alluded to this a little earlier. Jared Smith tweeted, a lady at my table just called the floor to confirm her ace 10 didn't beat the queen king on a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Anyway, in for 5 bullets. I just chuckled at that, quite honestly, because you know the lady was just having a brain fart, as we all have from time to time. I did chuckle at that. Not at the fact that he was in for 5 bullets, because that sucks. But anyway, hey, Beery, welcome.
Hey, what's going on? Thank you, Sherry.
You
Great
bet.
space.
Thank you.
I just came up to give my great friend, handsome Matt Savage, a shout out. In January, I was at the Hard Rock and I said, I went over to him. I said, I got to grab a picture. You know how Sherry loves to call you Tally. And I said, even though we all know who Tally is, this cocksucker grabbed me by the neck, started shaking me. What do you mean? Who's Tally? Who's? I said, I'm only kidding. What the fuck? And Matt could confirm that I'm not lying what I just said.
That's funny stuff. It's funny. How you doing, Barry?
All good. How you been?
Been good, been busy, but yeah, just a lot of work prepping for this TDA thing because I've been putting messages out on Twitter and people been going crazy. I don't know if you heard about the one yesterday about registration being open too long and people buying in too late and dodging blinds when they take their seats and all that stuff. It's a topic. It's a
It's
topic.
wound up too on the Twitter space, on the Twitter feeds.
Yeah, not to get you a little gassed up or excited about it, but Jeff Platt was on the space yesterday or whenever Sherry
Monday.
had him here,
Yeah, Monday.
and he mentioned that they're going to be tweaking the Hall of Fame. So who knows? You might have a chance.
Actually, I didn't hear that, so I don't know what you were. Yeah, I don't know what that's about.
Hopefully we'll know in about a week or so when they release the data.
Yeah, exactly.
Release the data. Hopefully, yeah. I just have a little sour taste after last year. It's going to take a lot of convincing me to get me back on board. But anyway, here we are. I'll do it for you, Matt Savage. I'll promote it so I can promote you. All right, you guys. Anybody else have anything they want to bring up?
Okay, I have two WSOP things.
Yes, please.
Okay, so Rachel Arai just tweeted the WSOP Platinum Lounge is a go. It's opening May 30th, and it's apparently next to Jack Binion Steakhouse.
Oh, that's where the polka.org lounge was.
Yeah, there's a video on X. I'll tag you in it, Sherry, but I don't know if it's the same space as the poker org from last year or if it's the Asian restaurant.
Well, and Joey may be able to answer that question because he made a video and posted it on social media of the GG lounge. So, Joey, are there two different lounges or is the Platinum Lounge and the GG lounge the same?
It's funny you say that, Maureen, because guess where I'm sitting right now?
Oh.
I'm in the GG Platinum Lounge.
Oh, there you go.
It's
okay.
where the Asian restaurant used to be. Okay. And it's beautiful. And guess what? Once again, I'm an only player in here. How cool is that? I got free coffee, I got free popcorn, I got games. My phone is plugged into a charger because every table's got a charger at it. Come visit. So you have to be a platinum member on Club GG, which is nothing, and you should be because there's a lot of great prizes. All my mentees are winning these $1,700 main event seats on there. But it's something, and it's open. You're open from 9 to when? From 9:30 to 8:30 every day. And I anticipate word's going to get out and people are going to start showing up here. But it is open and it is ready to go. I'm recruiting people for you.
Well, and I'm just going to say I have to be somebody's plus one, Isaac.
Mhm.
Hey, listen, I got the instructions on how to get your platinum for free in the Discord. So
Dude, I have no time to do all that right now. You're just going to have to take
yeah,
me
no,
as
no,
your plus
for you,
one.
that's different. If there's a plus one situation, we got you. But
But he's
oh
right.
yeah,
He does know how to get you that for free, folks.
hey
Just
Joey,
FYI.
Is it a plus one thing if you don't have platinum in there, or only platinum members?
Good question.
You know what? We're going to go extra sauce.
Good question.
We're going to walk up to the front desk and ask. So a bunch of us have questions. Am I allowed to bring a guest here, or does everybody have to be platinum?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Platinum on Club GG or the new WSOP app.
Did you hear that? So you have to be platinum on Club GG or the WSOP app. You cannot bring a plus one.
Okay, so no status on the WSOP app, just be a member on the WSOP app.
No. So what happens is on the WSOP app, you have it shows your Club GG status. So when you click when you're on the
got it.
WSOP Plus, you click your little picture of yourself, you click account, and you click on the QR code. And when you walk in the door, there's a scanner and it scans to see if you're platinum. Now, Isaac is great because I have to talk to him because a lot of people I know want to become platinum and he could help us with that. But there are pros that are just given the platinum status, if that makes sense. So their app is automatically updated to platinum. And this is where you want to be because you're gonna rub shoulders. It's like last year in the old polka.org. When we were in there in that lounge, we're rubbing shoulders with Kristen Foxen, and that's where I'm going to run into my buddies like Bet on Drew, and they're all going to show up here. So you really can find a way to get in here.
Oh, Lord. I guess I have free time somewhere between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. to figure out how to do that now. I'm joking, but it's really serious. But anyway, if you're on the Green Visor Gang Discord, there is a section to click on to to figure out how to get that membership for free. And the directions are easy because I have looked at them before. Just an FYI. Isaac, how does somebody join your Discord? Uh-oh, did I lose him? Oh, no. He went back down. We'll get him back up here and he could tell us how folks can join the Green Visor Gang Discord for sure and be able to access that information. All right, while we're waiting for him to come back up, I'm going to talk about some winners around town. Ahmed Stead, I hope I've said that correctly, took down the Aria $200 no limit tournament on Sunday for over $1,700 plus the Aria winner's coin. Over at the Venetian, some spaces run good for a recent guest. Tyler Phillips took down the Venetian event number 13 for and it was a $600 Omaha 8 or better tournament, and he took home over $12,000, the trophy and the bronze coin. Josh Berger took second in the four-way chop for that event and took home took home over $2,100. No, that can't be right. 1,200. No, that still can't be right. I have to look up Josh's winnings. Philip Wexler took home third place in a four-way chop of that event for $7,700. Lawrence Colt took home fourth for $5,900. Andy Seth took home fifth place for $3,000. So congrats to all those winners. Michael Holmes took down event number 10, a $600 no limit seniors event, took home the bronze coin, the trophy, and over $22,000. Samuel Martinez took home over $4,300 plus bounties when he took down the $250 bounty event number 14 over at the Venetian. So kudos to those folks. I do want to make mention Poker Around the World. The Asian Poker Tour returns to Paradise City August 7th through the 16th. Their main event has a $1 million guarantee, so that's pretty good. Also, our friends at Run Good, they crowned their Poker Series Player of the Year for year 2025-26 was Craig Velko. So congratulations to him. Also wanted to make mention, pay attention, folks. There was an overlay yesterday at the Win. That was a $1 million guarantee, and they only made it to about, well, let's just say they were short 60,000 of making that guarantee. So you definitely want to check around town, not only the WSOP, and see if there's any overlays you can, get in on. Maureen, can you tell us about your upcoming trips and where you're going?
Yeah, so I'll be off to Kings Rosedorf for the festival before I fly to Vegas. I'll then hop over to Vegas, mostly focusing on the Ladies Week. And then the big trip will be a poker trip to Nairobi in Kenya. It's a PLO Masters, the first PLO series in East Africa. Apparently, the PLO action is very juicy in this part of the world. So if you are interested, you can let me know. And I have some other big announcements coming, but I'm waiting for dates. So
Awesome.
I'll have some more announcements coming up. If you ever see me in Vegas, you can talk to me about anything. I played in more than 50 countries around the world. So I have some experience in some different locations outside the US.
And tell our audience what a flag hunter is, please, in the poker world.
Right. So everyone knows the Henda Mob database, and basically the venue is attached to a country. So when you play, the WSOP, you cash in a WSOP event on your Henda Mob, it tells you, first place $1 million. And because that venue's in the United States of America, you would get the USA flag. Next week, when I go to Rosedorf, that casino's in the Czech Republic. If I'm lucky enough to cash there, then I would get the Czech flag on my Henda Mob profile. So basically, Henda Mob has a yearly flag hunter ranking. They're actually going to give out a trophy this year for the person with the most flags throughout the year. And then they also have a lifetime ranking. So at the moment, I'm number 8 in the world on the lifetime ranking with
And how many
38.
flags? 38
38.
flags.
Yeah. So I played in more countries, but you can do the math. I did brick a couple of times. And the
Well, 38 out of 50, did you say? I mean, come
yeah,
on. I'm liking the odds there, liking the odds.
yeah.
Congratulations on that success. And Maureen is obsessed with the flags. I'm just going to tell y'all, but that's good for us because she's learning all about playing poker in those different countries, which means if you're going to take a trip to another country, chances are she's been there and you could talk to her about the poker in that country. So she's a great resource, firsthand experience, always willing to answer questions. So if you don't follow her, please do. As a matter of fact, go around and follow everybody in this space. Why? Because we can support each other and the poker world is big enough for all of us. So
Yes.
thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you. And the saddest brick, Matt knows about it because he shipped, we were on the WPT Voyage or Voyage, however you want to pronounce it. He shipped, I think, the Omaha 8 or PLO, I forget.
Yep.
Um, and I bricked. So I still need my cruise ship flag. I'm still waiting for the day WPT Voyage comes back. Hopefully it comes back because that was like the most amazing event I've ever participated in.
No, I heard it was spectacular for sure. Do the like Annie Up is teaming up with Lips to do an Alaskan cruise. Would that be a cruise to get a flag on or no?
Yeah, so any cruise ship, no matter where it sails in the world, you get the special nautical flag. It's like
No matter
blue
if
with
it's
some
okay.
white.
Okay, is that like if the cruise doesn't have like WPT a special group on board doing the tournaments? Is it just like in their regular poker room? If they host a tournament, you can earn a flag there too,
Well, it gets tricky, right? Because I have friends now on the Norwegian cruise. That's not a poker branded cruise. They're
right?
playing in the poker room, but the tournament director doesn't know what Henda Mob is,
Oh
right?
Lord.
So then you can't really get your results easily in Henda Mob. So I would say
So
it's challenging.
it's sort of like just normal poker rooms. Some poker rooms
Correct.
report to Hendon Mob, and some poker rooms do not report to Hendon Mob. So
Yeah.
I guess the same rules apply for them as well. I was just curious, for sure. All right,
Yeah.
thank you for that, ma'am.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you
you, thank
too.
you. You bet. Appreciate you. All right, I'm going to go around the horn. I see Wolfie's come up to visit with us, so I'm going to
Good
start with
morning.
him. Hey, Wolf, how are you?
Doing great. Yeah, I just wanted to come up. I haven't been on a space in a minute. Just wanted to say good morning. I hope everything's doing well.
I'm
And also,
glad.
hey guys.
Hey
I'm glad
guys.
you did. Glad you did, buddy. Glad you did. How's the new job working out?
It is amazing. God really blessed me with something that I enjoy doing. Fell on my lap.
Yay.
So praise the Lord.
That's fantastic. Good to
Yeah, when are you
hear.
going to be here, Sherry?
I
What
don't
day are you
arrive
flying
until
in?
the 22nd of June.
Okay, looking
Well,
forward to it.
me too, bud. Me too, for sure. Looking
Oh, and
forward to
also
it.
I found a new, for future reference. So that Level Up bar at MGM, they have stage karaoke when Sundays and Wednesdays from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. And it was
Oh,
really cool. Yeah, so definitely another option in the
whoa.
future besides Ellis Island.
Yeah, let's
Hell
go, man.
yeah. Right, Karen? Hell yeah. Yeah, we got to figure out a date when
Yeah, I've been
starts getting
practicing
closer.
for my karaoke song. I'm ready.
Are you doing the NSYNC song? What's it? Remind
Hey
me.
yo,
Yeah,
it's a secret, Sherry.
I
Come on,
forgot. Oh
dude.
shit! You said it on social media. I didn't know it was a secret.
No, I didn't say what song it was. I said it's a secret till then, but it's okay. It's enough of a spoiler right there.
I can't wait.
I might even
Anybody?
have a dance routine with it too. You know what I'm saying?
Are you gonna have a costume on? I'm in. I'm in.
Uh, Maybe I could bring the Wolfie hat. I am planning on bringing the Wolfie hat for the meetup game with the sunglasses. So
Yes, I love it. And this is why we all hang out together when we go to Vegas or somewhere because we just want to have fun, people. No drama, just
yeah,
fun.
no drama. All
Yeah,
fun.
don't come if you want to bring drama. You are not
I'm gonna do
welcome if you're a drama driven person. We just want to have fun for sure.
that.
Appreciate you, Wolfie. I'm glad that job is going well, bud.
Yeah, it's great. Thank you.
You bet. I'm excited for you. Um, Wolfie is finding his way through life. He's a youngin', not that young, but you are. You're young in comparison to my old
You know,
ass.
I had a few people tell me I look like I'm like, 26, 27, and I feel younger than 33. So we're so back, Sherry. We are so back.
I love it. Good for you. Wolf's done a lot in his life for changes. Like he's taken, he went out east for a couple of months to check it out to see if he wanted to move there. And he's started like lifting and improving his body and his mind. And kudos to you, Wolf. Kudos to you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the Connecticut thing was one second. Okay,
Yep.
yeah, so the Connecticut thing was mostly just like I really wanted to experience a winter season. Living in Vegas, there's no season, so that was the best part about it. Got a really cold winter, got my snow on, got some breathing some negative degrees, and it gave me like a nervous system reset, it feels like. So that was
I love it.
amazing.
Love
Yeah,
it.
it was
Good
it
for
was more
you.
just to experience the winter.
Good for
Yeah, I had a
you.
feeling I wasn't going to really stay permanently, but I had a feeling I was going to leave after 1 month, but then, it turned into 3 months, which I'm very grateful for. 3 months was perfect.
It's awesome. What a great experience. And you know what? Spreading your wings and trying something different is always good
And
for the
it
soul.
felt good to somebody I didn't even know replied to Slay's like picture thing and was like, "Damn, bro, the gym is really working out. Good job." And that's somebody
Oh,
that like I don't even know giving him that compliment. So it makes me feel good because I'm the one that trained him and taught him what he knows, and he's still keeping up with it. So without me even being there, Slay is still, getting after it.
love it.
So yeah,
So you left on a positive note and you left your friend with, you know, a positive thing in his life. So kudos.
yeah.
Love that. Absolutely love that. I'm glad you came up to chat with us today. We kind of miss those old time spaces, don't we, Wolf?
He's
That,
listener already, but
oh,
I
that's
know
Oh,
okay.
I didn't
Wolfie.
realize I was on mute. I was talking to Ryan and Brian the other
Yes.
day, and that era we had of spaces where things were just way better than it was. I mean, obviously it's so different now. It's not even the same. But I was telling them like, I'm super grateful for the cool people I met during that era and became friends with. Like so now it's like we met the cool people we needed to meet, and spaces are dead, but it's okay because we got those life connections now for the people that we want to have connections with. So I'm grateful for that for sure.
Right.
Like
I
you,
totally
Karen,
agree.
Brian,
Me
Ryan,
too.
people like that. It was great.
I agree. I agree. And when we talk about the old spaces, we all used to just hang out and just talk about poker, but then we would talk about maybe sports or what's
Life.
going on, life, yeah, what's going on in somebody's life or what's coming up in their lives and shoot the shit as they say. And sometimes people got in arguments and shots were fired and it was funny and and sometimes it wasn't funny, but no matter what, we like came through it as friends, the ones that were real anyway. And we came through as friends and lifelong friends in a lot of cases. And it's been awesome. Like it's been a great ride. For
Yeah.
those
It
that
wouldn't
are
be the
just
same today for meeting
right.
people.
Right, 100%. And I'm thankful. And it for me it's evolved into this space, this daily space, the weekly space I do for interviews. It's evolved for me into that and I'm thankful that a lot of the folks um have taken that ride with me because it's been an amazing ride. Like it's been amazing ride for the last 3 years. This is the fourth WSOP I'm covering and started that with Brian. I came up with the idea, and he was like, "Yeah, let's do it." And four WSOPs later, here we are, and I wouldn't trade 1 minute of it. I really wouldn't.
Same.
It's been awesome. Been awesome. All right, you guys, we're running a long time today, and I know it's been great, but I also know folks have other things to do today that needs to get done, like me. So we're gonna I'm going to go around the horn, see if anybody else has anything else they want to bring up, make comments about, or last words, and then we're going to shut it down. So I'm going to start with you, Anthony. Is he a speaker still? I can't tell. He may not be. Thank you for stopping in, though, Anthony. Appreciate you. Barry, you're next, bud.
Yeah, all good. Good to see everybody. Thanks again, Sherry. See you tomorrow.
Appreciate you, buddy. See you tomorrow.
Love you, Bear.
All right. Love you, Bear. Love you, Bear. All right, Karen.
Feel better, bud. What's up, guys?
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. I enjoyed it today. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. We're going to have Tommy LaRosa tomorrow from the Venetian. And then Friday's going to be Scotty Wynn. Don't forget, y'all. Also, I have somebody requesting, so we're going to let them come on up.
Love you, Barry.
All right. I think they're connected. Love My Baxter. Are you connected? Go ahead.
Hey, Sherry, I'm part of the Omar family. We follow each other. I hit you up about a month ago with some poker information. Good information on this space. I'm friends with a few of you guys, and I just want to reach out and tell everyone Kush is a lucky bastard. You guys have a good day.
I've heard that once or twice about Kush.
Yeah, I'm friends with Wolf also. Wolf, Survivor NFL. We tied. Let's run it back, Wolf. You guys have a good day.
Thanks
Yep.
for
See you later,
stopping
bro.
by. Oh, that's hilarious. All right, Karen, last words, love.
Have a great day.
Appreciate you. Maureen, you're next, love.
Thanks everyone for listening. See you around on X and in Spaces, and then hopefully mid-June in Vegas.
Hell yes, let's go. Love it. Joey, you're next, buddy.
Okay. Everybody think back to the movie Karate Kid. When he was doing wax on, Daniel-san, wax off, remember? And Mr. Whatever, how do you pronounce his name? I always botch it up. But you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
Mr. Miyagi. Mr. Miyagi. When we're doing wax off, wax on, yada, 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 we don't even understand what we're doing, but we're being trained. This space, these knowledge, you really, as a member here, really don't realize how much of an advantage you have until you walk into the arena like I did yesterday. I felt like I was an insider, yet it was my first tournament, and I'm jumping in a satellite right now. This is my wax on, wax off stuff. This is what we do. And without realizing it, we're obtaining knowledge that other people wish they had. There's a higher purpose and meaning going on here that we don't even know what it is, but we just trust it, like the wax on, wax off.
Thank you for that. Appreciate it, Joey. Appreciate you. Good luck today.
Thank you.
You bet, buddy. Wolfie, did you have anything you wanted to add? Uh-oh. He may have already went down. Again, I can't tell if he did. I appreciate you, Wolf. Thanks for stopping by. ASG.
Something I'm personally going to be keeping track of just a little bit is I'm looking at the Poker News Twitter, and their videos are Grinder doing Shuffle Up and Deal, them finding
Yeah.
the poker rankings card on the flop, and 2 videos of Martin Cabral, and that's what's considered video of coverage by Poker News of the WSOP. So when people ask, oh, why is this guy? Apparently, he's the only thing that's newsworthy according to Poker News. So there you go.
Well, I beg to differ. I think there's lots of great stories out there. We just got to go get them. And we have to have our minds open when we are looking for those stories. I also, in closing, want to talk about the lodge in Texas, in Austin, Texas. They're able to reopen their doors this week. And those doors closing a few months ago affected a lot of people in a bad way. Their livelihood was taken away from them, their jobs. Maybe they had to move to go find another job. And so to have those doors open again, is amazing. Like, kudos to them for sticking it out, fighting the battle. Not that they had a choice, but you guys know what I mean. And getting those doors open only a few months, or I'm sorry, a few weeks after the judge, everything was dropped and whatever. And they're now allowed to open their doors again. So kudos to the lodge in Austin. And tomorrow night, they're going to have a heads up battle between two of my favorite poker players. Uh, One, I have to say that I love to watch on Bicycles live feed. Him, Nick Vertucci, a few other folks used to be on that live feed, and I really enjoyed that feed. And that, why can't I think of his name? It just left me as fast as I was going to say it. Who was involved with the Jack Forehand?
Eating, Adelson.
Eh,
Robbie.
no,
Oh,
the
HCL.
guy.
Oh, Garrett.
Garrett, thank you. I don't know why I just had a brain fart there. I really enjoy watching him play poker, always have. I actually, before I, got to know him through spaces, I actually played with him in Vegas at the Harrah's Poker Room one time. And of course, I was like, oh my God, that's the guy from the Bicycles Casino. What's he doing over here playing with us? He thinks we're easy marks, right? I was kind of insulted, but I'm not your fish, so get lost, Garrett. But anyway, him and Alan Keating, 007 of poker, are going to be in a heads up battle tomorrow night at the lodge on their live stream. And, I think it's going to be fun to watch. So I would recommend that for sure for some good poker content tomorrow night. Until then, I want you back in the space tomorrow with us at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Vegas time, and there's definitely some things I didn't get to today that we will cover tomorrow. We're just jam packed with good stuff, but I do think it's time to end this, and I appreciate everybody being here. If you came on to speak with us, I appreciate you for taking that microphone. It's not easy sometimes. Those that are listening, appreciate you showing up, and hopefully we all learned something today from Maureen and Matt and the discussion on TDA rules, and of course from Joey's coaching corner. So good luck on the felt today. If you're not on the felt, get out and touch that grass. It's important to do as well. So thank you all for tuning in and have a great day. Much love.